Hello, hello, hello. I am Marcia Bent, and today we'll be discussing why goal setting is important. And as a matter of fact, let's scrap that. I'm going to be talking about what the Bible says about goal setting. Yes, that's right. The Bible actually does speak about goal setting, believe it or not. And I'm going to be touching on that quite a bit today. A lot of persons think that wealth and Christianity are two mutually exclusive concepts. That's actually not true. God wants us to be successful. God wants us to be wealthy. That's actually a book I want to read, by the way. That book actually does exist. Yeah. And, money is a key part of the Bible. According to Wealth with a Purpose website, more than 2,300 verses address money, wealth, and possessions. And Jesus referenced it in about 15% of his teachings and 11 of his 39 parables. And this is according to news.gcu.edu. And what I want to use today is I'm actually going against the statement, no, the love of money is the root of all evil. I'm going to go against that common myth that a lot of Christians have and really speak about why it is important to set goals and really ensuring that whatever you're aiming towards in terms of your business, you actually set purposeful goals to make it a reality. Because at the end of the day, faith without works is dead. And not only that, if you don't have works, there's nothing to bless. So you're not working to achieve your goals, nothing's gonna happen. Even when Moses parted the Red Sea, when he was leading the Israelites out of the hands of the Egyptians, and the Egyptians were chasing down the Israelites, were walking through the Red Sea. Moses had to lift up his stick to part the sea in the first place. God compelled him to do that, and through Moses doing that, God parted the Red Sea and allowed the people to walk through it on dry land with the sea on either side flanking them, and they were able to escape the Egyptians because God also sent a huge cloud to make it dark so that Egyptians couldn't really see the Israelites as they were moving. And that cloud also kept the area illuminated so the Israelites could easily see where they're going and pass through. You need to have something for God to bless. Almost all of the parables speak about someone's faith. Many of the miracles that Jesus performed, he said either during or at the end of him performing the miracles, it is by your faith that so and so is healed or that so and so will happen. Why don't you think that having realistic goals and actually following them would help you in your business? It's something that I find as well, even with business owners and sales professionals who are believers in God, not many of them actually know that it is important to set goals. It's crazy. So I'm actually going to be touching that quite a bit quite a bit quite a bit today. And if there are any points that you want to also mention as well, I'm totally open to hearing about it. But Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3 says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So if you commit your goals to God by writing the vision down on paper and making it plain, and you leave that to God in prayer, you'll be surprised how God will order your steps. One of the things that I do before the start of each year is I write down my goals. So come December, November, I'm writing down my goals for the following year. I'm creating my vision board. I am updating my affirmations. And by consistently doing that and looking on it daily and putting it to God daily, you'll be surprised how God moves through you. Like you will be so surprised, but your faith is also important as well. So it's one thing to set these goals, but to make it happen, you actually have to act as though you are already in possession of these goals, which means that you have to now start exhibiting the habits that persons who have the goals who would have achieved the goals that you have would have been doing. So, for example, if you want to lose weight and gain a six pack, what are persons with six packs doing? They're in the gym, they're eating healthily. As a matter of fact, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. So, persons who have six packs are eating healthily. What are they eating? What kind of foods are they eating? Most likely stuff with a lot of fruits and vegetables, most likely some multivitamins, most likely they're getting their regular source of fruits and vegetables. If they don't have time to do that, they're taking supplements that can help them to do that. Fortunately, I saw that in my online store, so you can reach out to me. Hint, hint. So you can try that. And that's just one example. If you want to grow your business from 5 people to 10 people, okay, what does a business owner who have 10 staff members look like? Okay, they have systems in place for payroll. What do those systems look like? You need to start researching how you can get those systems in your business so you can prepare to have 10 persons on staff. All right, you also need to figure out what would be the different roles that these 10 people will be doing in your business. You need to create some job descriptions so you can know what you're looking for and what you don't want. You'd also probably need to be looking on where these people are going to be working. Are they going to be working virtually or are they going to be in person? If they're going to be working virtually, you need to start thinking about how you actually be serving and interacting and monitoring these persons on a daily basis. Like these are things that you have to think about before you get to the desired goals so that you can work your way to the desired goal. You give something for God to bless to get you to that desired goal. Because guess what, you need to have faith. The Lord blesses people who have faith. So you never want to mistake faith for laziness. That's not it. God doesn't bless lazy people. God doesn't like lazy people, and He doesn't like complacent people either. So don't be lazy. And He even says it here in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. So in your heart, you can establish your goals. Set up your goals for your business. Set up your goals for your personal life. Set up your goals for your family. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, yes, set goals for it and submit it to God in prayer. Submit it to God in prayer and put things in place so that you can start living as though you already achieved those goals. Okay, you want a new car? What car do you want next? What year? What model? How much money you want to spend on it? Have you thought of what color you're interested in? Where would you like to source it from? Why is that car important to you? What specific needs would that car need to fill for you to be content? These are things that you need to start thinking about before you get the car. You can't just expect that, okay, I want a car for my business and you're just going to miraculously get it booked and you're going to be happy. What kind of car you need? Is the case that you need a big car to carry your open house signs or your feather banners, your dresser tables and such because you're a busy real estate agent and you're always on the go? Or you just need a cute little hatchback that you can put in a few items and go to your office because you're an accountant and you just really have paper most of the time. What is it that your business would require your new vehicle to do? If that's a goal, you need to actually start like thinking about that. And you need to submit that to God. So bring that to God in prayer. Pray about it. Seek his guidance and let him order your steps. Because remember, his ways are not our ways, our thoughts are not his thoughts. What if he isn't ready for you to get that car yet? You thought about that? No, you gonna put yourself in a situation where you get a car that God never ready for you to get, and then you lose the car. Then what? You put yourself under all sorts of stress and unnecessary problems. Because guess what? The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. One of the ways in which the devil tried to tempt Jesus in I believe it's Matthew chapter 4. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Um, when he was in the wilderness was after the 40 days and 40 nights, and Jesus was in the wilderness and everything, the devil brought him to a high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms and palaces and whatever that were down below. And the devil was like, listen to me now. Am I eating this? I can give you all of this if you bow down and worship. You know, Jesus, being Jesus, when he completed the gospel, he'd have achieved way more than that anyway, because we serve a Trinitarian God. God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So he would have reigned over all of those things anyway. But guess what? As a human being, he was weak. And if he was not strong in his faith, if he had any measure of illness, any measure of sin within him, he'd have fallen for that garbage. Because guess what? As humans, we like power. As humans, we like the shortcut. As humans, we like things done our way. And at that point, the devil was tempting him, and a lot of persons fall prey to that. So you want to ensure that whatever your goals are, you don't idolize your goals over God. You never want to get to a point where you put your business before God, because that's creating an idol. God doesn't want you to create an idol. God is a jealous God. And he even said it in the Ten Commandments: don't worship any other God other than me. He said it in the Ten Commandments. I believe that's Exodus. Yeah, so I have to look back. Let me look back. But you want to ensure that you honor God by ensuring that your goals are in alignment with what God would want you to do. All right. So just ensure that you're bearing all of these things in mind. Also ensure that you are, how can I put this? I'm trying to find the best way to say this. Understand that God has a purpose for your life. And just because you have something that you want to achieve, it doesn't mean that that's what God necessarily wants you to do. So you may have an image that you see yourself in, like maybe you went to med school and you saw yourself as a doctor, and your family, bunch of doctors and nurses. So you feel like you have to own a doctor's office in the next 10 years, 10, 15 years. Oh, say God want you to put on doctor and open doctor's office. Suppose God didn't want you to turn on masseuse or turn a baker. You don't know that. So whatever goals you have, also submit it to God and ask Him to allow His will to be done. Because again, His ways are not our ways. We see what's happening with us now, and we'd have remembered our past because we'd have lived through our past. God sees years and generations ahead of us. So whatever it is you want to do, understand that whatever God wishes to be done is what's most important. Because at the end of the day, God is seeing things that we wouldn't have seen until our present becomes our past and our future becomes the present, if you catch what I'm saying. Right? So whatever it is that you wish to do, submit it to God. Like just commit whatever you're doing to God. And it says it in Proverbs 19, verse 21. Many are the plans that are in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's promise that prevails. So just remember that. And you also want to work in sequence, right? So, and I like how Proverbs actually ties in a lot of wealth guidance. Like Proverbs 21, verse 5, for example, says, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. So you want to diligently plan things out and properly organize them. Because, for example, if you're somebody like me that, is adventurous, is a free spirit, and I tend to go very quickly, and I sometimes don't plan things all the way out, you can see where things can fall apart. And it's after submitting things to God, I find that I get around persons who, you know, compensate for some of my areas of weakness. But that's because I submitted my things to God. I submitted my goals and my will to God. So He prevented me from a lot of heartache. I've seen a lot of things that I've been invited to be a part of go wrong. And when they go wrong, I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Wow. Sucks for you. And I'm able to do that because, God ordered my footsteps. I'm not saying that things are perfect all the time. Absolutely not. I know what struggle looks like. I know what adversity looks like. How I'm not going through it right now. But my point is that by asking God to order my steps in His Word, I'm able to be okay. And he gives me a peace that surpasses all understanding. And you want to have that with your goals because guess what? You know, you don't want a situation where you have all these goals, you're not seeing progress being made, and you get antsy, you get frustrated, you feel incompetent, you feel like a failure when you're not achieving your goals or you're not where you want to be. I get it. I've lived it. I know what it looks like. I'm only human. But by submitting your will to God, you can have a sense of peace that knowing that every day, every little bit of progress is still progress. And you want to remember that by staying in God's word and submitting your goals to God, you understand that just because it didn't happen tomorrow as you wanted, doesn't mean that your goal is null and void and that it won't happen. By submitting your will to God, God will allow it to happen in the best possible time. Because again, you see what's happening now and what happened in the past. God is seeing 10 years down the line and generations down the line because He created us. He knew us from we were in our mother's womb. He knew us when we were just not even a thought, right? So He wrote out our story already. Why not ask the author? Ask the author how your goals are going to go rather than you trying to figure it out yourself. Because most likely you're gonna get the wrong answers. Most likely if you ask other people, you're going to get the wrong answers because they are not God. And God put that vision in their heart. Ask the person put the vision in their heart how you gonna do it. Don't ask other people. They don't know. They're just humans too. And not only that, not everybody is happy for you. Some people will deliberately tell you foolishness just to lead you astray. It's sad, but that's just how some people are. It's in God's hands. And by putting it in God's hands, you'll be surprised how His peace that surpasses all understanding can really guide you. And it even says so in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is again, but blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. Trust in God. That peace that you get, trust me. Trust me. Can't surpass it. But whenever you can, start writing down your goals. Like you can't go wrong by doing that. By writing down your vision and making it plain, you get to cross it out, mark it up, critique it, question it, and find different ways to achieve it. Because even like verse 2, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 to 3, right? It says it here, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so whoever reads it may run with it. How are you going to get other people to support your cause if you don't know what to support? Hmm? How are you going to do it? People like chaos, people like organized chaos. Here, you need to have some form of direction that you're following. That's why people buy maps. That's why people use GPS. I mean, if you don't know where you're going, any direction will take you there. And not any direction is the best direction. Know where you're going, man. All right, so that is pretty much it for me. I hope I added some useful insight here. And just remember, as Philippians chapter 4, verse 14 says, I can do all things through him that gives me strength. So all of your goals, you have the potential to achieve it, but you want to ensure that you are purposeful in making it happen and trusting that you serve a faithful God that is if it is his will, it will happen at the time in which he deems it fit for it to happen. Just a reminder, I'm Marcy Ben from Think Premium JA, and I offer social media marketing services, email marketing, blogging, other forms of sales copywriting. I have 2 online courses. I offer business consultation services where I help businesses to close more sales and achieve their strategic goals. Plus, I also have an online store where I sell products that you're probably going to be running out of in the next 2 weeks anyway, like um, multivitamins, which you can take for as little as 70 Jamaican dollars a day and do something to improve your health daily. Supplements that can help a wide variety of causes like your vision, like sleeping, getting more energy, all that good stuff. I have energy drinks, protein powders, meal replacement shakes, deodorants, skincare products, lotion, makeup, you name it. I have that in my online store. So can reach out to me using the contacts provided in the description below for more information. And if you saw anything in this video that added value to you, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would love to know your things. You can always comment. I'm always looking forward for hearing from you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and remember to never stop dreaming. Goodbye.